Hey y'all, it is April the 2nd, 2020, 2025. Liberation Day is just yeah, kind of look like all this. And, it's not a tattoo. I was looking at a weird symbol, right? And it may or may not have a star and stuff and put Neosporin on it, but still, I guess it would be a cool looking ass tattoo of like a little walking man. I see a little walking man in it. You see that? Maybe even anyway. All right. Real quick, I'm gonna pull this out on you. All right. Look how big it is. You can take up the whole screen, big. Take up the whole screen. You might have seen the lettering and stuff. Shout out to the people who know what's up. Yeah, it's called the Spartan. Right. Yeah, you got a Spartan on the band. Back up with a long ass arrow. Sometimes can't. It's hard to tell because someone could hold it up real close to the screen, like the mukbang. And I know they like to do that and stuff, but actually, this damn knife is very, very big. Right? If I hold it up to myself, this will cut you in half if I was to stab you. And I wouldn't do it. I hope YouTube didn't notice that I wouldn't do that. But I'm saying if I would, I stab. Nah, dude, I'm not. It's not a call to action. Right? Please practice peace and don't hurt anybody. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying if you were to just puncture yourself, you were to accidentally slip and puncture yourself, and dude, you punch yourself right through. I'd be able to see clear through you because of this. And actually, while I got it, so I'll show it to you because I got it today. It is all sort of messed up. I do got a sheet for it. Thing is, I didn't really look into dimensions too hard, and I really didn't spend a lot of time thinking before I bought this. Couldn't wait to do it. I knew what the price was. He was asking for it, plus I'm a VIP member. So I knew what the price was, and it's just like, oh man, it's hard to get that up. Thing is, I was hoping, but it's not gonna happen. Hoping that I could like conceal it on my body and just wear it like at the everyday normal, like just to be out at everyday normal, and be like, a problem, yeah, I'm your problem. But of course, he wouldn't try to deal with it. I'm not trying to say that at all. I'm saying if you had to, if in a situation where you had to, and Lord hopes that you never ever do, but it's called a battle knife, right? They make them. Oh, we can show it on YouTube, but of course, it's very sturdy. It's very sturdy. I mean, you probably put your thumb right here. I think that's why they put your thumb right there. And then, of course, you got the knuckles. And then I'm told that this thing's called a skull crusher. You can imagine how and why. All right, but of course, I'm hoping also as well that you might be able to break a car window, say if you fall into a lake and stuff. Sometimes people do. They can't like open their window and they want to drown and stuff. I would imagine you could hit the wood. Hopefully, it's got more by purpose. It's called a skull crusher. Anyways, I wanted to show that to y'all, right? In a non-threatening manner. Please don't tell YouTube that I tried to threaten y'all with the battle knife. Alex Jones and InfoWars store.com. I gotta get up out of here pretty soon. I don't mean to make a long, long video because actually I plan to go to sleep. I plan to go to sleep so good you wouldn't even believe it. In fact, I'm gonna measure my sleep and get a score on my sleep. Last night I actually scored an 82, which is still good as far as sleep scores. If anybody who knows what I'm talking about, it's pretty good, and even they said it was pretty good. That's because I only slept 6 hours. It's because well, the game I saw 6 hours. If I was to get 7 hours, it's a biblical number or some stuff, and it gives me all sort of peace and power. And I mean, it's measurable. You want to add with the smartwatch, right? And measure how you were sleeping and stuff. Man, if I get 7 hours, I bet you. I don't want to brag on myself, and I don't want to like jinx myself either. But I bet you it's clear to the 90s. It's scored to the 90s. People marvel at it. People are like, oh, it's just amazing. Well, it's one of my superpowers. Like, yeah, it's what I'm really good at. But people are good at other kind of stuff, right? You need to get together, come together, get stronger, right? Try to get in battle knives and stuff, man. Can't run. I'm gonna have to get a sling for this, dude. I thought about it really honestly. If I'm gonna ever have this on my person, probably gonna have to be wrapped around me on a sling. If I'm in the wilderness and I just don't even want to use a gun, if I want to battle a bear, dude, I think honestly you could probably, man. I mean, the bear is pretty quick, but it's like, dude, he's not gonna like getting cut like this. Very bad. But what I did want to shout out because, of course, I got the name from the InfoWars and Alex Jones. We talk about it to no end and stuff, man. Today's Liberation Day, also historic. Yeah, the stock market just crashed. Of course, we said it was going to do that. We know it's going to do all these things and stuff. It's going to be a rough, rough ride. It's going to be a rocky road, all right? But not so delicious. Um, that's just how it's got to go. And thing is, man, we're blessed. I'm so blessed, especially to have Alex Jones, even up till today. Nobody's promised tomorrow, not you or I or Alex Jones. But we still have him here for our reference and for his guidance and all sorts of stuff. And just to give us the skinny on what the hell's going down all the time. So I was thinking about Alex Jones and gosh, man, I told people the timeline as far as me knowing Alex Jones, knowing, think about it, do the math. You're thinking clear back to 2010. It's a long time from right now. 2010 is when I first started getting the inkling of Alex Jones and stuff. And ever since then, I mean, it's been like 15 years. So, it's been a wild ride. There's been different eras, different phases, different moves up in echelon, right? I'll have y'all know that, as everybody knows, it's undeniable. Alex Jones has been a legend since forever, before we knew him. I marvel at the fact that I only knew him since 2010. This guy's been a straight legend since day one. People who knew about Alex Jones knew he was straight legend, and he's just, I mean, he cannot be replicated. Basically, he was there in that perfect moment in time, like the Big Lebowski or something. And she's been through a lot, been through all sorts of stuff, presidencies, malarkey, this and that, what's going on. And I think about the math, 2010. Thing is, a lot of people never give him credit. The thing is, it blows my mind and it gives me the willies. It's the man who predicted 9/11. Not the only one, not the only man probably who did it, but one of, dude. I was not out there predicting no 9/11, nor was the news telling me about some sort of 9/11 coming. That's how old. What year is that? What year? He was doing that. He was a legend before he did that. And then he did that and became just an eternal legend. At that point, I didn't know who he was. He lives in a city. Dude, if I want to get to Austin, it'll take about an hour or so. Maybe a little bit over an hour, depending on traffic. And it's like, this guy predicted 9/11. I didn't even know about him for 10 plus years, like pretty much 10 years after that. It was 10 whole years that went by as Alex Jones was on fire every day. Um, and I didn't even know who he was. And then I got to knowing who he was for years. For years. Nobody knew who the fuck Alex Jones was, even in San Antonio and even in Austin. I bet you ask around. This guy was a straight legend for decades at that point. Can you imagine like the slow buildup? Being a legend for decades upon decades. People in your own city ain't heard of you. and and so it just could see that. So now we got to the 2010 mark where I just so happened to come across him. I was asking questions on Google. I never knew who that Alex Jones was. I had no idea this guy existed. And every time I'd ask Google about questions, certain questions concerning nutrition, health, the environment, whatever questions I had, For some reason or another, Alex Jones always kept popping up. And I never really clicked on any of his links until like maybe the 15th or 20th time, dude. Alex Jones kept popping up every single time. Why? Because back then, they discounted the man. They always wanted to play down the legendary, right? The legendary only grows larger, and as large as it is right now, I shudder to think how motherfucking larger it's gonna be, in the future. Shout out, uh, they call it the Spartan or something. Tip of the spear, buddy, of information, not violently, politically, right? I'll let y'all probably tomorrow. It's an update.